JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, 11-year-old girl among 3 siblings shot dead in Montego Bay. An 11-year-old girl and her 19-year-old twin brothers were shot and killed at their house in Irwin Heights, Montego Bay, about 7:30 p.m. Wednesday. A baby was also inside the house, was unarmed during the attack. The young girl has been identified as Peter Gay Cook, while her brothers were identified as Javon and Javon Stewart. According to reports, the siblings were inside their house when gunmen entered and opened fire, hitting them. They died on the spot. Sources have indicated that the 11-year-old was an innocent bystander and the twins the intended targets. The incident came hours after another murder took place in the parish just a few miles away. About 7:20 a.m., Andrew Fullerton was chased and fatally shot by unknown assailants in the community of Orange. Investigations are underway into both incidents. Kingston West wanted man captured in St. Elizabeth. 22-year-old Tyreek Gale, otherwise called Pops, who was wanted for shooting with intent by the Kingston Western Police, was captured in St. Elizabeth on Thursday, March 10. Gale was featured on the Jamaica Constabulary Force's Wanted Wednesday campaign on June 23, 2021. Reports are that about 4 a.m., Gale was captured during a mission-driven operation in the Nain area. Policeman found dead in suspected suicide. Police personnel were earlier seen in Linstead, St. Catherine, where policeman is suspected to have committed suicide. Corporal Osborne Zemenes of the Gale Police Station in St. Mary was found dead at his Treadway, Linstead home on Thursday morning. Reports are that police were summoned to Zemenes' home and found the cop on a bed with a single gunshot wound to the head and a firearm in his hand. Cocaine valued at $133 million seized in St. James. Businessman arrested. Lawmen assigned to the Narcotics and St. James divisions seized a large quantity of cocaine during an operation along the Long Hill Main Road in Anchovy, St. James on Monday, March 7. Reports are that about 3:30 p.m., lawmen were in the area when they signaled the driver of a Toyota Hiace bus to stop. He complied, and a search of the vehicle yielded 16 rectangular-shaped packages containing cocaine. He was accosted and taken into custody, and the motor vehicle along with the drug were seized. The illicit drug has an estimated street value of 133 million Jamaican dollars. 3-year-old dies after being hit by a car. A 3-year-old girl has died after being hit by a car along the Bull Bay Main Road in St. Andrew on Wednesday. She is Shadane Martin, who resided in 9 Miles, Bull Bay in the parish. Reports are that about 6:15 p.m., the driver of a Honda Civic motor car was traveling towards St. Thomas when Shadane allegedly ran into the path of the vehicle and was hit. She was taken to hospital where she was pronounced dead. The driver of the motor vehicle recorded a negative reading on the breathalyzer and was warned for prosecution. The Bull Bay Police is investigating. Man serving time on gun conviction sentenced to 2 years for lottery scamming. The deadly link between gunmen and lottery scamming, which has been wreaking havoc in western parishes, the epicenter being Montego Bay, St. James, spreading with murderous consequences to once idyllic Trelawney and Westmoreland, was further borne out in the St. Catherine Circuit Court last Friday. Shani Dryden of Waterford Portmore, already serving 5 years on illegal gun conviction in 2021, was last Friday sentenced to 2 years imprisonment for breaches of the Law Reform Fraudulent Transaction Act, lottery scamming, when he appeared before High Court Judge Yvonne Brown. Dryden was found in possession of people's information, referred to as lead sheets, on August 5, 2020, during a search of his phone by investigating officer District Constable Dr. Jason McKay. Dryden at the time was being held as a suspect in the murder of a National Housing Trust employee but was never charged. McKay gave evidence that on August 5, 2020, he searched Dryden's phone with the accused's permission and found the lead sheet with person's information in the notes section of the device. Police intelligence indicates that gunmen in western parishes have been able to forge a deadly access with lottery scammers who finance gangsters' weaponry via the guns or drugs trade with Haiti. Scammers who handle huge sums of foreign currency utilize the gunmen as protection for their ill-gotten funds. Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson recently described high-powered rifles recovered as weapons of war and has since hailed seizures by customs in Montego Bay and Kingston as major dents in the gangs' operations. Jamaicans slapped with 28 counts of drug-related offenses in Florida. A Jamaican man was charged with 28 counts of drug-related offenses last week in Daytona Beach, Florida, after the completion of a 5-month narcotics probe into his illicit dealings. According to Fox 35 or London News, 21-year-old Jamaican national Romario J. Burrows faces multiple counts of trafficking and delivering of fentanyl, heroin and meth, as well as conspiracy and other charges. The Volusia County Sheriff's Office said the Jamaican, who was wanted on 28 counts with a total bond of more than $6.8 million, was arrested last Thursday, March 3. He was apprehended outside an apartment complex located on Jimian Drive in Daytona Beach. The report said the detective went undercover and purchased multiple controlled purchases of heroin, fentanyl, and meth from Burrows. The drugs, said a sheriff's office spokesman, amounted to 482 grams of heroin, 229.4 grams of fentanyl, and 169 grams of meth. A further search last Thursday during the Jamaican's arrest resulted in detectives locating several illegal drugs and weapons. They included 103 grams of fentanyl, 410 grams of meth, 43 oxycodone pills, 4 handguns, a little more than $1,000 in cash, and a narcotics paraphernalia. Several investigative bodies in Volusia County and the wider Florida state supported the probe into the incident. 3 or 4 men killed by the police were in Zambia to avenge their crony's murder. A source has revealed that 3 of the men were killed in a reported shootout with the police early yesterday morning in Zambian Central Village, St. Catherine, had come to the area recently to avenge a crony's murder. Come for war for them friend of dead man, but at the same friend of dead first kill a woman and dig out her ear them and cut her throat. Them kill him back and shoot up back in the eye. So them come here to defend him. You have some woman in here who accommodate them to you think woman nice? A resident said. In expressing relief at their demise, he said that residents were forced to remain silent as the criminals had full control. It's like the gunman them run thing. This might bring some calm to the place, and as me say, me no want the police them left here, them for live here. You know much people when you left them house because of the war and them boy here. If them interfere with you, you have to bite your lip and hold it because you can't go report it at station. If you ever tell police a problem, you can't go to station or your house burn down or you're dead. I saw you run family. This was than when Tivoli did under the big thing. It's like you can't talk no matter what them youth do you, the resident lamented. The men have been identified as 16-year-old DeAndre Chano, otherwise called Little D, of McGregor Gully, Mountain View, Kingston 3, Patrick Brown, 24, of Zambia District, Nigel Adams, 22, of Sarah Street, Kingston 4, and 21-year-old Romario Brewster of Burger Gully, Rollington Town, Kingston 3. The resident said his prayers have been answered now that the men are no longer in the area. Me bud on me and kiss the earth and God answer. When me hear the shot them, I straight and in my bed me get up go. At first me think a gunman, but afterward me find out say a police. Right now me want the police them for just live in here. Them nothing left here, he said. According to police reports, at 2:30 a.m., the police approached the dwelling where the men were staying and were greeted with gunfire. The fire was returned. Assistant Commissioner of Police Gary Griffiths said that when the gunfire subsided, 4 men were found with 3 firearms. It is an area of Central Village that has always been of concern. This area is really a hotbed for crime. With this morning's find, this would make about 6 guns that have been taken from the area, he said. The incident is being probed by the Inspectorate and Professional Oversight Bureau of the Jamaica Constabulary Force and was reported to the Independent Commission of Investigations. Men questioned in connection with arms found at Freeport Wharf released. The 2 men who were arrested in connection with last month's arms find in Montego Bay, St. James, have been questioned and released. The Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigations Branch, CTOC, has since named Clayton Clark as a person of interest in relation to the case. 7 illegal guns, including 2 high-powered rifles, and 16 rounds of ammunition, were found in a shipment at Freeport Wharf on February 28. The weapons and ammunition were found concealed in television sets shipped from overseas. The 2 men, who were listed as recipients of the shipment, were later arrested. Jamaica reports 27 new COVID cases, 2 deaths. Jamaica reported 27 new cases of the COVID-19 and 2 fatalities on Wednesday, according to the latest statistics from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. This pushed the total number of cases of the virus since the start of the pandemic to 128,273 and the death toll to 2,837. The country recorded 98 new recoveries, bringing the total number to 79,094. 80 people remain hospitalized, of which 16 are moderately ill, 2 severely ill, and 2 critically ill. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.